Hey everyone, welcome back to the channel. I'm going to be doing a cool little review for you on something. I came up with this idea a while ago and I kept meaning to go to Glenn Page at Cult Creations to see if he'd be able to bash one out for me as a prototype. I was looking at my Toys Era base and I was very happy with this whole setup, but then I just thought, wouldn't it be cool if there was like a brick wall kind of backdrop for this? Not cardboard, but more like the kind of hard, tough foam that Glenn uses for his dioramas. There's my 1/6 scale alleyway. That's incredible. If you know the channel, then you know that I've used that for a lot of photography, and during the reviews to just jazz them up a little bit. It really does bring the figures to life. And I thought something that wouldn't take up too much space, also something that Glenn could sell easily and make quite quickly. He wouldn't be breaking his back on every single one of them because they're quite straightforward to do. And I measured this base across. It was 5.6 inches compared to the Hot Toys ones, which are 6 inches across, I believe. I have to remind myself about that, but yeah, I'm pretty sure these were exactly 6 inches across, and the Toys Era base was 5.6 inches across. So I sent him the measurements across, and I wanted it about maybe this tall, and just basically said, how about like maybe a New York City kind of brick wall with a subway sign. Once you see the diorama behind this figure, it just looks complete. I mean, it looks complete now, but it looks even more complete once you see the brick wall behind him with the Murray Franklin poster and all that. So I'm going to show you that now. So drop a like on the video, and don't forget, get in touch with Cult Creations over on Instagram, Facebook. They got a YouTube channel as well, but the best place to get in touch with Glenn at Cult Creations would be message him on Instagram or Facebook. And this is how you do that. There is all the contact details you need to get in touch with Glenn and get yourself one of his amazing dioramas or a backdrop. And here is the diorama backdrop itself. Perfectly measured up to go with the Toys Era base. And as you can see already, it just looks awesome. So you can imagine once the Joker's standing there, it's going to look even more awesome. But let's take a look at the details here. Glenn Page and his brickwork, man. I mean, that really does look convincing to me. I mean, even the little, not just the cement between the bricks, but all the other little details as well. Just the little wear and tear over the years. New York City wall. You got the clown face there from the newspaper in the trailer where he makes the kind of screaming face at it. And there is the Live with Murray Franklin poster. Nice little touch there. Mind you, this was from like the early 80s in the film, so maybe it's different now, but I just thought that would work really nicely. And again, massive shout out to Joseph Dawson. I mean, without this nameplate here, it just wouldn't have the same effect. But everything just over the months have slowly just come together, mostly thanks to amazing people in the community like Glenn and Joseph here who sent the nameplate. Really taking it to another level. So I've got the SW Toys Joker, all stock. He's over there waiting to go in here so you can see what it looks like with the SW Toys. But mainly I'm going to be using my really kind of modified, I mean, it's no longer a Toys Era Joker. I mean, the head sculpt was originally, but I repainted it and lengthened the hair. The only thing outfit-wise that remains from the Toys Era figure is the shirt, because I like that. And you've got the Toys Center vest with the M Toys jacket and pants. And the gun is still Toys Era, but I repainted the handle. And he's got a waist grabber actually around his waist, just to make sure he's totally held in place. I didn't really like the way it looked with the groin grabber kind of coming up into the groin area. It just kind of distracted me a little bit, so I went with the waist grabber for this one. Let's put him on here and we'll see how he looks. But even just on its own, it looks fantastic. And the idea was that Glenn could bash these out quickly and just do kind of generic kind of walls, different color brick, different posters depending on the character. Harley Quinn, Catwoman, Joker, Batman. I mean, a lot of the DC Hot Toys figures have this style base, so I think it's going to work really well for that. Basically, Glenn in his spare time can just bash out a few of these and then let people know, I've got this color one, I've got this one, I've got that one, I've got this one, and people can just snatch them up and put them with their figure, because I mean, that just looks meant to be. That really does look like it just belongs together. So that was the idea. I hope it catches on. You guys get in touch with Glenn, order yourself one of these. He can make them quick. Well, depending on how many orders he gets, requests. So we'll see. But I'm really satisfied with this, man. I think it looks fantastic. Let's put the Joker in there and see how it looks. Alright, so Mr. Joker is back on the base. It's simply a matter of just putting this behind him. Glenn came up with this idea for keeping it upright. My idea was different. I thought have sticky double-sided pads here that would stick to the bottom of the base or the back of the base. But Glenn just kind of swooped in with his own simple idea here, and it's very effective and doesn't require any sticky pads. So that was a nice little touch there, Glenn. Very cool. And there it is. It's done. There you go. Now, doesn't that look amazing? Don't you want one of these? You can get one. Contact Glenn. He'll make it for you. You want a different color brick? Maybe you want the more kind of orangey color brick? You can have it. You want blue bricks? You can do it for you. Forget about it. Anything you want. You want some nasty kind of posters all old and scratched on the wall? You know? No parking. Little no parking signs, always good. Stuff like that. Any character, man. You want Batman? Do your Batman one. Joker. That works. Catwoman, Harley, Superman even. Maybe Wonder Woman. Anyone with this kind of style base, this would work perfectly for any character. Like Deathstroke, all the Arkham figures, they have that style base. Not all of them, unfortunately. For example, let's just go over here for a minute. Yeah, so unfortunately, the Arkham City Batman, they were still doing these style bases when he was released, so that wouldn't work with that. It was later on that they started making these. So at least the Joker has one. And Deathstroke definitely has one. He'd be great. Deathstroke, his diorama would be just like a brick wall with bullet holes riddled in it behind him. That would be really cool for him. Whereas this Joker from Arkham Asylum, when I think of the kind of brickwork in Arkham Asylum, for the majority of it, at least from my memory, the exterior looked very green to me. So maybe kind of like a swampy looking green wall. Could also look like the sewers, because there was a fair bit of sewer action in Arkham Asylum. But he would work perfectly with one of these dioramas by Glenn. Then you got Harley Quinn, bit more punk rock, maybe a brick wall with kind of like different bands, different band posters or album posters, all kind of old and ratty looking, and maybe some bullet holes as well, maybe a few samurai sword strikes on the wall or something, bit of graffiti. She would come alive, definitely, with a backdrop behind her. But possibilities are endless, really, as long as it's this kind of style base. And again, these ones, I believe, was exactly 6 inches across. The Toys era was 5.6 inches across. But as you can see, I mean, from any angle, it just looks meant to be. It really does. That just looks gorgeous. Now, as far as Detolf height of those shelves in a Detolf cabinet, I don't have one, so I'm not 100% sure. I'm sure lots of you out there do. But basically what you would do is you'd measure your Detolf and then decide how tall you want this to be, how much space do you want between the next shelf on the Detolf and the end of this. So, you know, Glenn can make it any height you want. I asked for this height because I wanted a fair bit of space so I could do photography and stuff like that. But yeah, you could put one of these in a Detolf and or just on a shelf like I do. I'm going to find a really nice spot for this, maybe put the steelbook beside it, and that is going to look beautiful. Just a lovely little tribute to an awesome movie. Just take a close-up look at the brickwork here. As you can see, I mean, it's about as good as it's going to get. It really is. He's done an incredible job here, Mr. Page. Beautiful work. He's always improving. Posters are really well done, really nice and weathered and grimy looking. And just that, oh man, the weathering on the bricks, really, really well done. And it just matches up perfectly with the Toys era base. Absolutely. Very, very satisfied with this. I think it looks excellent. Alright, so now I'm going to take away this figure and I'm going to show you the SW Toys stock figure and show you how that looks, because a lot of people will probably pick this up after the reviews that have come out. A lot of people, including myself, think this is the overall the best, right out of the box, best third party Joaquin Phoenix Joker in 1/6 scale that we currently have options to get. So I will show you that now. But this one here is still kind of my favourite. Put a lot of work into this. Very happy with how it looks. So we'll say goodbye now to Frankenstein Joker. And here is SW Toys Joker. And let me know what you think of how he's looking with this gorgeous brick wall behind him. I think he looks fantastic. And I'm going to try a couple of other figures as well. Maybe just a couple of Batmans and a couple of different Jokers, just to give you an idea of how it would look and for my own personal fun. But that looks great with the SW Toys Joker. Great figure for a really, really great price. Remember, folks, I paid £108 shipped for this from Hong Kong for the best right out of the box 1/6 scale Joaquin Phoenix Joker that you can currently get. This is the one at the moment. It looks pretty good turned to the side a little bit too, like this. Now that looks really cool, but do bear in mind the Hot Toys bases are a little bit wider, so therefore the diorama wall behind him would be a bit wider too, which is always a good thing. Wider is always better when it comes to these things, but it's just because, you know, it has to match up with the Toys era, and it does perfectly. But just to show you how it might look if you were using your Hot Toys figures, and if you've got the complete Arkham line, most of them do have this kind of style base, and that would look really cool in a display, just everyone with a different wall behind them that kind of suited their personality. So you really can just come up with your own design, get in touch with Glenn, say, can you do this? More than likely he's going to say, hell yeah, I can, and he'll do it for you. Let's have a look and see what Catwoman looks like. I think one of these Catwomans here is going to look awesome. And just as suspected, Selena Kyle looks fantastic with the wall behind her as well. So obviously you could make something a bit more suited to Catwoman. You could have maybe some claw marks on the wall behind her. Anything you want to come up with, really. And I really want to try Travis Bickle from Taxi Driver next. So seeing as, you know, it's very closely linked with the Todd Phillips Joker movie, definitely was a big influence, which is something I really like about it. Seeing as Taxi Driver is one of my favorite movies of all time. There they are. Yep, Travis looks fantastic too. Now, with a Taxi Driver wall diorama behind a figure like this, there's just a bunch of different things you could have on that wall that would hark back or stir people's memories for certain scenes or certain lines from the movie. So that would be a fun one to work on for sure. But just to show you how that looks, there is Mr. De Niro in his younger years before playing Mr. Murray Franklin. That is nice. Alright folks, I'll wrap it up, and I will just tell you that I am so happy with this. It is a prototype, the first one that Glenn made. Just an idea I had, and I thought it would be really good for him and for all of you guys out there. Something simple that he can make a lot of, different variations for different characters, and just put them out there and say, right, I've got these for sale, very reasonably priced. Get in touch with Glenn. I showed you the business card at the beginning of the video. Shows you all the different ways you can get in touch with the man. He's a very, very cool dude, very approachable, an all-round top bloke. And he can make you one of these for your Joker figure or a Batman figure, Spider-Man, whatever the case may be. Horror figures, let's not forget about those guys, Freddy or a Jason or a Myers or even a Chucky or a Pinhead, Leatherface, whatever the case may be. You can come up with a design for the wall or just things you want, blood spray, stuff like that. It would just take the figure to another level. So make sure you get in touch with Glenn and grab one of these, because they are definitely worth it, and they do take any figure to a whole new level. Drop a like on the video, guys. Thank you for watching. Make sure you are subscribed. Hit the bell icon next to the subscription button. That way you'll get emails every time I upload a video. Make sure you follow me on Instagram and Facebook at DKnight333. Lots of stuff goes up on the gram. Doing the channel full time is difficult, but with your help I can get it done. $1 a month on Patreon will just about get me there. I'll put your name at the end of every video, just like the credits of a movie. Thanks for watching, guys. Thank you, Glenn. Amazing work, sir. I'll see you all soon. Take it easy. Bye-bye.